So 2 weeks ago, mortgage rates hit 20-year highs. So they had to have gotten better the past couple weeks, right? Welcome to this week's Mortgage Minutes with Mitch. So if you missed me last week, I did take a day off. My son had a field trip out to Ramsayer Farms. Amazing spot. If you got young kids, highly recommend you take them there. It's out in Smithfield. It's about an hour outside of Cleveland, but really a lot of fun. Just so many different activities, so many things to do. You didn't have to wait in a ton of lines. It was really cool, and the kids had a blast. In the last couple weeks, we had some changes. Unfortunately, mortgage rates have now gone up to 23-year highs. So I want to dive into some of this week's headlines with you, starting with the ADP report. So it started out pretty good this week. The employment numbers only showed about 89,000 jobs added. They were expecting 170,000. So well below expectations, showing that the job market is cooling. Now, normally that's not a great thing, but with the Fed closely watching how hot the job market is, that was a welcome sign that, hey, maybe things are starting to cool off. Then the Bureau of Labor Statistics, like they've been doing all year, came in with outrageous numbers, 336,000 jobs added, and they were only expecting 153. So that puts us back on the hot seat for a hotter than expected job market and kind of canceled out a lot of the gains. Now, below the surface, those numbers are not as strong as they look. I might dive into that a little bit at a later time, but so the bottom line is the Bureau of Labor Statistics continues to put pressure on the Fed to drive interest rates up. Now, for current homeowners out there, Black Knight and CoreLogic, which if you've been watching, you know that those are two of the biggest organizations that have a pulse on what home values are doing. They continue to set record high month after month this year. Home values are still going up, and that's simple supply and demand that's expected to continue. Now, as far as another silver lining in all of this, AAA came out and they reported that gas prices are coming down. So a lot of this upward pressure we've been seeing on inflation is because the energy sector and gas has been pretty high. So as you can see by the chart here, for the last couple months, we've actually been running above last year's numbers. So when you compare year over year, that's not helping us. So we've actually kind of crossed the threshold to where now prices are lower than where we were at this time last year. So hopefully that continues. That'll take some downward pressure on inflation and might translate to a little bit of a reprieve when it comes to rates. That's what we're hoping for, at least. So if you are, one quick piece of advice, if you are in the market, you have a pre-approval and you're shopping for a home, talk to your loan officer and just make sure that everything's still on the up and up with your approval, because if you're kind of at the upper end of what you're eligible for, that may have changed in the last couple weeks with the rate ticks we're seeing. If you want to start the process, though, I know I didn't make a great case for it, but if you are in the market for a house, you need somebody that understands what's going on and can help guide you. Would love to be that loan officer. Let me know how I can help. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.